Hi, I'm Sam,
I'm Keshia,
and this is Crying in the Cinema.
also known as CITC. If you know, you know.
Yeah, for short. So actually, today, straight back to business, we're going to talk about Yorgos Lanthimos films, which is a very fun episode. It will be about two of our favorite films so far that we watched together. So separately, we watch other Yorgos films.
We
But
watched Poor Things separately.
yeah, and favorite.
A favourite, yeah. And I've watched Kinds of Kindness.
Yeah, and I watched the one,
Killing
The Killing
of
of Deer.
a Sacred Deer.
I forgot, it's a long title. Usually Yorgos makes quite short titles. But anyway, yeah, we are on Lanthimos Universe today. We chose these two films called The Lobster. And you want to talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, so The Lobster was come out 10 years ago now, 2015. Um, and the other one we're going to talk about is Bugonia, which come out this year, 2025.
Yes.
Because yeah, those are the two that we've watched and enjoyed together. I think something about Yorgos Lanthimos is that he is a director who we both really like his work, like pretty reliably, whereas other directors we usually have quite different opinions about them. So it's quite special for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we were kind of heartbroken because of Luca Guadagnino. But that's another time we'll talk about after the hunt, maybe, because the cryometer was quite high on that one for me
Mm.
because I was so annoyed. But anyway, back to business.
Yeah, so yeah, The Lobster. You're happy to start with The Lobster?
Yeah, we can do that.
So this one we watched longer ago as well.
You have the, was it? You have the
I had it
Blu-ray
on Blu-ray. I received it for Christmas last year, I
from your
think.
granddad.
Yeah, and this film is set in a kind of a dystopian alternate world where there's this tyrannical regime of people who believe that everyone should be paired up in a couple, and if you don't, under a strict timeline, then you get transformed into an animal. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
effectively like dying. You lose your
Mhm.
body and yourself. So we meet David, played by Colin Farrell, and his brother has already suffered the fate of being turned into an animal, so he knows the risks. He's recently had his wife leave him, and he gets put in this, what would you call it, like a boot camp for
What's a
singles.
hotel?
Yeah, well, it's a hotel, but it's like a boot camp for singles to like connect with each other and become a couple. Um, they have a time limit of 45 days, I think.
Yeah.
And they can earn extra days by hunting down the savages in the woods who are people who are sort of voluntarily single. And yeah, so we follow his experience in the hotel trying to find a partner, and it's all very weird. I mean, what do you think about this premise in this world?
Yeah, I think that Yorgos films, we always think that it's so absurd, it's so, in a way, darkly whimsical. Like it's giving Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or something, but it is always quite truthful to reality, I feel. This mandated, rigid system in the film, in a way, it kind of like how society is, how like sure we can have the freedom to roam by ourselves, but there is still like societal expectation and judgment if you're single throughout your life, like, or
Mm,
people kind of pity you, like, oh, did you remember like that woman who passed away, she never got married or something like that. Like
mm,
it's just the truth in a way. But Yorgos always kind of show us in the most extreme way, sure, but there's always a little truth about it, and like um it's quite relatable seeing these people trying to be partnered and like being awkward next to each other, and like that's just how dating feels. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, and I think the most interesting parts of it were some of the minutiae for me, the way that people grasp at straws in the film over shared traits like the just very superficial things like the someone has a limp, someone has a gets nosebleeds all the time, two people are short-sighted, and then there's like one instance where someone is cruel and they wonder if that can be a shared trait between partners, and it's all just very absurd
Mm.
to fixate on those things and say, oh well, that's why we should work together. And but it does ring true because yeah, I feel like we see people in our own lives that do that and grasp onto those things to kind of justify otherwise flawed relationships.
Why I really like this film is because I love romantic films, and I love horror at the same time, and I think it's the most romantic horror film I've ever watched.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
The devotion to each other, or you will definitely see it if you watch it. Um, so what's your cryometer? Did you cry anyway, or did you feel like it's something you can relate to before or something?
I was crying in this film.
Were you
Heavy Flow 7.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
was.
don't remember.
I actually forgot. Yeah, I'm definitely on 7 too.
Because in the second half of the film, we
Mm,
meet someone who he does have a real connection with.
mm,
And I will say the film has a bit of a turn, a kind of it's kind of a twist
mm,
when he ends up with the singles and
mm,
finds that actually you can't just be free among them. They have
yeah.
the other extreme
Mm,
where you cannot be in a relationship. It's
mm,
forbidden,
mm.
and that turns everything on its head, and you just find that the feeling of persecution
Mm.
continues in a different flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was my angle for my letterbox review was that that polarization sometimes gone out of hand. The
Mm,
classic you need to find your partner versus the radical individualism that
mm.
is also kind of reflection of the world in a way. And also, don't you think like those people just want to be single in the forest, in the jungle, forest, whatever? Don't you think these are just the people who don't want to be in a group chat? Like they just like they're so. Some people can actually function without a partner. But anyway, I thought it was just interesting.
But I thought my interpretation of it, and I think it is very much open to interpretation, was that was that in the words, it was more like a solidarity thing. I mean, maybe that's just me focusing too much on the metaphor side of things, but like it was more like, well, we're on our own, so you have to be on your own.
No, yeah, that's true. But my whole point is like with polarity, let's say right wing, left wing, whatever, it is always like it will always be solidarity. It will always be like you're being devoted to an idea. That
Mm.
was
Mm.
whatever the performance is, however they do their day to day, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about kind
Mm.
of the ideology
Yeah, they've been
difference.
radicalized effectively, both
Yeah,
sides there, and it's very tribalistic.
yeah. Although the background of the people in the woods aren't hippies, or these are there's a lot of anger, layers of it's just like the all the characters in this film is like they're living in a pressure cooker, really. Like
Mm.
you can see the rage boiling inside of them, whichever part they're stuck in.
Everything's very hostile.
Mm.
There's a lot of suspicion and paranoia. Um, People don't trust each other because there are times throughout the film where people lie about having these shared traits
Yeah,
as well, which is quite funny.
yeah, um, yeah. That was a really good one. Do you wanna? So yeah, so we agreed on 7 for our
Yeah,
cryometer.
I was crying. I think the way that he has to keep his relationship under wraps is quite sad, and it's quite bleak. And I think because like you mentioned, the anger, you can feel the layers of anger, and you can feel that it's driven by sadness as well
Mm.
behind all of that. So it's just quite a haunting and sad experience.
Yeah, but in a way, like at least the first half of it, it was quite funny because this is classic
Oh
Yorgos,
yeah,
like that pan
it's
comedy, dark.
darkly comedic.
Yeah.
Um,
So I for those who uh for those who haven't watched the film, like don't be too scared. It's not like actually, well, the concept is really dark, but it's quite a complete film in a way.
yeah.
There's romance, there's
And there's a lot going
comedy.
on. There's a lot of characters
Mm,
and a great cast behind them. You have Ben Whishaw, Lea Seydoux,
mm,
Rachel Weisz,
really good ones.
Olivia Colman,
Yeah.
being the very like cold hotel manager who's
Mm.
kind of like a headmistress.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think we watched too many school films recently, and we just it's headmistresses on top of my head.
But yeah, I mean the film was really impressive. I'd highly recommend it. I think Yorgos Lanthimos is very good with endings, which I think obviously a lot of
Mm.
filmmakers struggle with. And this ending left a lot. I won't spoil it, but it left some ambiguity and left you pondering
Mm.
the choices of the characters, whether the choices they've made so far have been the right ones, whether they make sense, and whether and what they're going to do next is
Yeah.
left up to the viewer as well.
Yeah, it's very reflective. That's what Yorgos is really good, and it's like it's always a conversation opener, really. Which animal do you want to be? And I was thinking before, like a lot of people chose like dogs, which is showed in the film, but no one really chose like lion and stuff. So because animals, there are so many types of animal. I don't know why they chose like the most uh
Mm,
instead of,
very passive animals are
yeah,
chosen.
yeah, if you're like this very strong carnivores, like I thought going through a life that bleak and like scary, you would have wanted to have a sense of power
Mm.
in your next form as an animal. But anyway, I was just wondering about that.
Yeah. Do you have any other points on the lobster, or would you like to move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Great.
Can
To
wrap it up, that one.
from lobsters to bees.
Yeah, not yeah, Yorgos probably he likes animals. He likes the kind of meaning behind it. Yeah, so by the way,
Mm.
not to kind of divert a little bit, we were watching Pluribus,
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah.
TV show on Apple TV. It's about hive mind. So I directly and or indirectly, I would say this film is about that.
Yeah.
Be it like it's you're on the conspiracy theorist or just like following capitalism. But anyway, you can tell more of the story. I was just
Mm.
adding like sort of parallels for
Yeah,
us right
yeah.
now.
Check out Pluribus on television at the moment. If you're into these kind of stories about hive minds, as Bugonia is.
Mm,
So Bugonia, so they frame the story around bees, bees dying, and a beekeeper who seems very concerned about that. Although it turns out he also has had some personal tragedies caused by Emma Stone in
yeah.
playing the CEO of a major pharmaceutical company, Michelle Fuller, and this guy Teddy decides to kidnap her because he thinks that she is an alien trying to destroy the planet. Um, and we see everything unravel from there. It's quite intense. Apparently, and I didn't know this until very recently, but it's based on a Korean film called Save the Green Planet, 2003, directed by Jang Joon Hwan. And yeah, I kind of want to watch that. It
Mm,
looks a bit goofier from the poster. This one is
yeah.
more. I mean, it is very funny, but it is also very dark. Again,
Yeah.
again, those genres that Yorgos
Mm.
likes.
Yeah, I think it's more like inspired, right? That film
Yeah.
is mentioned constantly on media. So yeah, very excited to see that. Um, anyway, yeah, Begonia. It's about devotion as well to like a side in a way.
Mm,
Obviously, both of us we hate capitalism. You know, late stage capitalism that is like harming literally everyone living on this planet. So without giving so much sort of spoilers, it's like you'll be kind of guided to this like point of view that we're she's evil anyway because she's a CEO, period. But it's just so interesting how when things unravel, whatever it is, for me at least, I was rethinking about violence and how to kind of overcome these evil. It's like, is violence the key? I know it sounds very like cliche, but like, I know she's evil, but also at the same time, oh, is it the way? I know I sound probably super weak and like we should probably, people think you should kill the billionaires or whatever, but do you get me? It's just kept me on thinking. It's like, uh, Yorgos always play with my heartstrings in that way. It's like, ooh, like, is it the way? I don't know. Am I
yeah.
rambling?
I no, I see what you mean. She's presented as being quite callous, this woman, the CEO, and that the stuff that she's doing is harming the planet, and that seems, but they also manage to frame it through a very personal lens as well, and
Mm,
you get a sense of some of the people she's affected
mm,
on a smaller level, on a smaller scope. So yeah, I mean, you do think, I think it changes throughout the film. Like in the
yeah.
beginning, you think, okay, well, he thinks these people are vicious aliens, so like he's lost touch with reality
Mm,
because of these conspiracy theories that he has, and you start to think, well, in that case, like how much can we blame him? Based on that, he's actually, as he himself says, like, oh, this is actually me being quite diplomatic here.
mm-hmm,
However, throughout the film, you realize he's actually a lot more
mm,
unstable than that and
yeah.
more violent than that. As you said, because he is violent, and I think
Whether
that's
she,
when you lose
yeah,
faith in what he's doing.
whether girl boss Emma Stone is an alien or not, I think there is some sort of um for me personally, I always think that these 1% very rich billionaires are like aliens to me,
Mm.
whether they're literally aliens or not. Do you get me?
I think that's like why the film is so strong. There's that
Mm,
core idea of how crazy it is that people are messing up the world like that,
mm,
and that Teddy kind of seems reasonable in his logic that
mm,
these horrible powerful people, it seems almost more sane or more likely or
mm,
more possible that they are aliens trying to destroy the planet rather than
mm.
just facing the ugly truth that humans are that bad and
Yeah,
that flawed.
yeah, you're right. I think the real villain is always a girl boss, a white girl boss in a pantsuit. um, oh yeah, I mean, it was so in a way. I mean, she's not the warmest character. Emma Stone, CEO Emma Stone. Um, but it really hits me the small bits where she said these quote unquote suggestions that is just like, oh, you can um preferably you can stay after half five, but like it's okay, you don't have to. Like, it's these corporate suggestions just so real,
Mm,
and it's that is evil. I think what's evil is that she is very self-aware, she's a woman, so it's a different ballgame for her. It's more important that she is the CEO. Do you get me?
mm.
So this kind of obviously the themes of feminism and like white feminism, fake feminism, that is just so real to me in the film. Because she's self-aware is scarier.
Mhm. What do you have for the cryometer in this?
I didn't cry. I was probably crying laughing. Maybe I'm sorry, I think it was 0. I wasn't crying
It's
at
okay.
all. Were you crying at all?
I
Maybe
put
inside.
dry-eyed whimper number
Mm.
2 on the cryometer.
Where? Which part?
There's a character that dies in the film, and I felt that
Mm.
that character was very sympathetic
Mm.
because they were not malicious really. They seemed to not really have much control in the situation that they were in.
I don't know if I sound like a horrible person, but it didn't make me feel sad because I think it's the best for this character. I just because they're such a good character, I'm like, please don't go to the darkest like
Yeah,
side
yeah,
even more. I
true.
don't think this person deserved
In a way, it was a
to
good thing
see
for them
in a way.
to go before they became
But
such a
obviously
villain.
sad, like
And then there was actually another death in the film that was also sad.
mm, mm, mm,
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a lot of grief, to be
mm,
honest,
mm, mm,
near the
mm.
end, and like the consequences of the chain of events that had been set in motion.
Yeah. I felt like I was crying, not sorry, laughing a lot at Yorgos films as like a coping mechanism because it's so real. These are the issues we talk about all the time, we think about all the time, at least us. So it's like it's so bizarre like how they show it, but then it's so real. So I felt that sometimes I don't really know if my laugh was a cry.
Mm. So, do you have any other points on Bugonia?
I think I'm good.
Right, so we have an idea to talk about our favorite conspiracy theories, and I think since it was your idea, you should go first.
No, you're just throwing it. Well, this is my own conspiracy theory, but this is not like a huge one, and it's still very connected to Yorgos because this is an ode to him. I think all of his films, not that I have watched every single one, is under the Yorgos extended universe. It's just like if we want to be absolute nerds, we can put a timeline on it. Like we're currently watching the Conjuring universe, so you're like it makes sense. I guess maybe Bugonia was before the Lobster.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait, no, the Lobster was
I mean, there are certain things that happen in Bugonia that I would have said, yeah, would make Lobster impossible to take place.
Really? Oh no, yeah. So it's there. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, in a way. I mean, there's always evolution. We don't know what's gonna happen after that. Anyway.
Yeah, true. Actually. Okay, actually, I'm on your side then.
Thank you.
I would be very interested to see how you would square kinds of kindness which you haven't
I have
seen.
not seen it.
But yeah, I guess maybe it's possible that I guess in real life there are people that look like each other, celebrity doppelgangers and things.
100%.
So like everyone just looks like Emma Stone in this universe.
Oh, that's
and Jesse
so cool.
Plemons.
That's really
and
cool.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, I'd love to look like Willem Dafoe.
I would defo like to.
Oh no! You're making that face for the listeners. For the listeners, Sam was making that smirk.
So that's your theory. I like it.
That's only the first one. I still have 100
okay.
more.
Fantastic.
So the second one that was more connected to Bugonia, the classic that birds are drones.
Government drones.
Government drones, because birds do charge on power line, not do, but they charge on power line. So they're kind of like robotic. They're robots. And like pigeons are really smart, although obviously have been villainized recently. But I think it's just to connect it to the film. So I chose those two.
And when the government want to track someone, the birds leave their tracking device on the
Yeah.
car if they're parked under a tree.
Yeah.
Splat. There you go.
Perfect. Great.
Tracked.
Great. So, and I also do believe, so this is a personal one because I know in Indonesia there's still like this kind of magic that we believe that we can do to manipulate weather, and I think the governments of the world can manipulate weather because of that. Maybe a mix of magic and technology, but I think there's so many things. I don't have to go to details that felt like it was made up in a way. Like, why was it
Mm.
raining at this time?
Well, yeah, I think they're out to get me, really. Like when I go to work in the morning and it starts raining, I just know that I'm enemy
Main
number one,
character,
really.
main character energy. And I was like,
Wow. Well, yeah, you got three.
this is just the last one.
Four. You got four.
No, but like,
You have a conspiratorial mind.
no, but this is real, guys. I think Shakespeare wasn't a person.
Yeah, I've actually heard that
100%.
theory
No, that's
before.
why
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say things that is from my brain. I'm like, I actually did research of what people think. I think it's a group project. It was a group
Yeah,
project.
fair. Maybe everyone's name had one letter from Shakespeare. Sam, Harry, Adam,
Shakespeare.
Catherine.
There's Keshia there, absolutely.
Keshia.
And I think talking about films, there's so many like, oh Mike Shakespeare, this is such a like Shakespeare like trope. Like, come on, this is just a group project. Just because they were old, that's why they become they just the first people to make something about,
Yeah.
I don't know, like Romeo and Juliet, like on what's it called? Like you can't really be with the other person.
Star-crossed lovers.
Yeah. Anyway, so these are my conspiracy theories. Looking at your face, I think you can't wait.
I've only got one. I feel.
No, it's okay.
I
But
feel ashamed of
don't be
myself.
ashamed because you have one. No, I didn't even say you have to put much, but because you have one, you need to really explain yourself now.
Okay, yeah. So my favorite conspiracy theory. So it's kind of like we're going to take like an iceberg approach on one theory, starting at the top, then going into the murky depths.
Absolutely. That's just you as a person.
Yeah. You like my murky depths.
Yeah.
So this one, we're all aware of the Disney Corporation.
Yeah.
Established by Walter Disney. You may have heard the popular conspiracy theory before that Walt Disney was cryogenically frozen to prolong his life until such a time as which they can revive him.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, so we're working with that. We're working with the assumption that it's true, despite facts and everything saying otherwise. So effectively, there is a film called Frozen, released by Disney, and some smart internet sleuths have realized that isn't it convenient now, ever since that film came out, that if you Google Disney Frozen, you get that film come up. Instead of the cryogenics theory. And it's like, well, if the theory wasn't true, why are they trying to cover it up, though, by releasing a whole film, though? And I used to work in SEO, search engine optimization, so I know how important it is if you've had some bad PR to shove it down the search results by spamming it with other stuff. People pay a lot of money for that. So, okay, and I can already hear people, the comebacks and the naysayers out there saying, "Oh, well, okay, well, if that was true, then why did they make two Frozen films?" Well, that's where things get a bit deeper. I think 2019 Frozen 2, they were waking him up, and they're like, "How are we going to cover this one up? We already we already fired our golden bullet with Frozen, and then some genius at Disney was like, Frozen 2, baby. Frozen 2. And so all the potential leaks about Disney being revived all gone away in a flash with Frozen 2. And I also think that when they revived him, they used a melting cryogenics unit at like a private hospital, known also as an MCU, which is why the Disney bought the MCU, so that when you Google Disney MCU, you get that.
Was it on Reddit or did you come?
That last bit I came up with myself.
Wow.
Yep.
That's really crisp.
So if you don't hear from me on this podcast again, it's probably because the men in suits have come and taken me away.
Can we talk about Frozen 3?
Well, yeah, they're working on Frozen 3, and
my question would be, so what is it?
Well, that's when they're going to announce. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, now I'm questioning myself. Oh dear.
That's a very well researched theory.
Thank you.
And that was such a creative way to think.
Well, after this podcast, they're going to have to release 10 more Frozen films just to bury all the secrets that I've revealed.
Yeah, I think talking about conspiracy theory is always such a fun conversation. We might do this segment again. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, it is.
We if you listen to our other episodes, which I hope you do, we have other segments like Multiverse of Sadness. So let us know if there are any other segments you think it would be interesting, if you really liked it, if you like this one more, let us know, and we can do that more.
Thank you for listening. And yeah, do you have anything to add to this week's podcast? Or
I just can't wait to watch Kind of Kindness.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll do that. I don't mind seeing it again. I'm happy to see
and
it again.
You need to watch the
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's join Yorgos in his wonderful imagination.
Yeah, he hasn't disappointed us, so
No, he hasn't.
Like Luca did. Oops.
Until then, hope you all have a wonderful day. And if you'd like to get in touch with us to recommend any films or to give your voice to the discussion, you can email us, contact@cryinginthecinema.com, or you can send us a message on Instagram.
Which is?
Crying.in-the-cinema.
Yes. Perfect. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.